What up, world?
Scholars!
We back!
baby!
We back! School's in!
Ding ding!
We back! We back!
His name, Professor Belden.
What up, scholars? We back for another installment, another episode of the Educated Brothers podcast.
Yo,
This is your boy Dante,
this is your boy, Jug. I go by so many names. Jug,
aka
Morris Chestnut.
aka
I'm not saying the other one because I don't like it. Everybody call me that anyway.
BKA,
Anyway, how y'all doing?
delusionally known as, you know.
Nah. You know what? Fuck it. We just gonna call it how it is. Most of the world that I live in knows me as Ness.
Uncle Sean! There's people that know you as that too.
Excuse me, my nieces and nephews know me as Uncle Sean. I don't call myself Ness because of how the name was given to me, but I do allow the people who've met me as Ness to call me that because there's no point of correcting.
I mean,
thousands of
people.
people.
any of you new individuals who try to come up to him and say like, "What's going on, Ness?" I promise you, he's not going to respond.
I don't.
He lets us when like he meets new people that we know and they get introduced. He's like, "Yo, what's my name?" We try to Ness. Nah, my name's Sean. Love Sean. Like, all right.
Listen,
bad,
if
bro.
I didn't know you circa 2012, you can't call me that.
My
shit.
boy said circa. Look at that evolution over there. But enough.
Growth.
enough about us. You know how we could do this all day. So the more you know. We could do this all day. You already know. But we have a guest on with us today.
Oh my God.
There's actually a very special guest that we have with us today. They are very prominent in their field. They got a lot of knowledge that they could drop on us.
Drop the
We hope
bomb
that y'all
on us,
listening. Boom. That's my bomb. But you know, Steve got the better drops. That's my bomb. Boom.
Oh man, but
Enough of our silliness. Go ahead, introduce yourself to the people, and oh my goodness, we'll talk about the nerves in a second. But go ahead, introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, listen, before she introduces herself, she got a dope podcast, so she can kill all that I got nerves crap. But
It's only kind of nerves.
I feel like my nerves is because I haven't seen y'all in years. And you know,
Okay.
you
It's been
a
guys
minute.
are
It's been a
like,
minute.
you
It's
know,
been a
doing your
minute.
thing.
we trying.
And I
We
love
trying.
that.
We trying. You know.
shout out to us. Shout out to us.
You know, clank.
Shout out to us. Okay.
You know, it's so funny. I was like, just like how you said the whole Nest thing, I'm like, I hope they don't call me Rochelle. I was
Listen, when you hit me up earlier to you there,
I was like, hey, this is Najah.
I'm like, all right, that's the way we on. All right, I ain't calling her that no more.
It's like, okay, cool. So that name is the artist formerly known as. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm no longer Rochelle. I go by Najah.
Okay. Let the people them know who you are, what it is that you do. Now the more you know.
Yes, exactly.
Those that knew her, as Sean liked to point out, circa 2022. You know, y'all don't call her the R name no more. She don't respond to that.
Yes.
But go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Najah. I am a nurse practitioner, board certified.
Nice.
Light brag, just light brag.
Y'all see that light flex?
That's the whole.
Y'all saw that light flex? She's like certified. Just want to let y'all
I'm
know.
in that world. That's big time.
She said certified.
That's big time right there.
Blue
But
checks
go ahead,
all day. Walk around with it.
Ad revenues. Go ahead.
Oh gosh. I work as an ER nurse currently. I have a podcast called The Good Nurse Outlook.
Check that out. Make sure y'all check that out.
Check
My
that out.
Instagram and TikTok is poppin', so follow me. Nurse.Naj. I don't want to spell it. N-A-J. You know, nurse.
You gotta spell it.
N-A-J.
Spell nurse.
like
how you
that.
spell nurse? They know.
Some of
And
the
then
scholars
dot
might be
N-A-J.
special ed scholars, so you know. We'll discriminate here. Everybody's welcome. Even the kids in the basement. they can listen.
So yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, wait,
I was about to say that's it.
Let's say, hold up. That's it.
I was about to pick it up myself if she wasn't gonna say nothing about it.
You close? You want to get it? You put it in the camera right next to
yeah.
it.
You want to make sure we get that in the
make sure
camera?
you get it.
Let's see.
Let me.
Hold that up.
Sorry,
Let
y'all.
people
I'm
know.
very comfortable.
Let people know.
Over
Yeah,
here.
listen,
I ain't moving
this
on.
is a family affair.
I almost brought a blanket too.
Nah, you can
I
sleep.
know what the.
Listen, this podcast is about talking, not about
I'm very comfy.
how quick you can
I have
doze
a
off.
book called Chart Like a Boss.
Chart
It's a
Like a
documentation
Boss.
guide for nurses. It is a very amazing book. It's well needed, and the people are loving it, and I am selling out. And you know, I'm just happy to be a blessing to others.
Clap it up for that. That's dope. Clap it up for that. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
One more time, though, where can they find the book? Where can they purchase your book?
So you can go to my Instagram, nurse.najah, and there's a link in the bio, or you can go to inkandneedlepublishing.com, or literally you could just type in Chart Like a Boss in Google, and of course my face will pop up,
Nice.
and my name will pop up,
Nice.
and my socials,
Nice.
and then you can see the book, and then you can like buy it.
Multiple copies. Christmas right around the corner, y'all. But y'all didn't hear that from me, okay?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Tell a
Birthdays,
friend.
all
To
that.
tell a
Tell a
friend.
friend. To
Period.
tell a
To
friend.
tell a friend.
And we all know nurses know each other, so tell all your nurses.
Yo, that is the truth.
And then, yo,
I
like,
just left a party and I seen nurses I haven't seen in years. It was like one nurse got her master's, and like I seen nurses from like 5 years ago. Everybody linked up. Everybody knows everybody. I'm like,
when
That's
in-
because y'all band together.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Y'all
And
been
then-
in the trenches, and
Yes.
y'all not gonna forget that.
they be telling each other where not to go, where to work at, where the money at. I'm like,
Yes.
God.
exactly.
As
You
a
know.
girl, as a recruiter, bro, that shit
He
is
said, girl.
that shit is it has its ups and downs. That's why I try to get my teams to understand, like, yo, we don't move without our nurses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, they're literally, not figuratively, they're literally our business. So if they're not happy, we don't make money.
Exactly.
Y'all can sit up here and be like, oh, they need to get it together. No, fuck that. I'm the dude like, oh, it's okay. You called out for like the 10th time, but we're gonna try to find a way to make it work.
Always late.
Because on that
Show
11th
up.
day when you need some help, they're gonna be like, well, yeah, you did look out that one time that I was
Yeah.
late, or them 10 times I was
Yeah.
late.
And
So
there's a reason why I can go from company to company and my nurses follow me.
Yeah.
And that makes me more valuable to these companies, and that it plays into
You a
why
company hopper?
but that plays into why I'm in my big boy position right now. You know. So
Big boy.
big boy. I ain't humble brag like you said, right?
Like, yeah.
Like brag.
We're just doing well.
Dante, don't do that.
it's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I would never. I
Nah,
would
but
never.
nurses are they don't even need like an actual structural union because they're a union in themselves.
Nah, that's facts.
And that shit is
That's facts. Because I
crazy.
have our producers out here. Shout out Steve. Shout out Bravery Studios. You already
Bravery,
know. We was talking about this before we actually shot about how dope it is. What you do. You know.
Yeah.
I know people probably say it to you a lot, but there are certain professions, at least for me, that's like, without these, it's going to be hard to keep this whole like world situation
Right.
going. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you. Thank you for everything
thank
that you do.
you.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's important.
You know,
It's
during
important.
COVID, it was so weird. First of all, I mean, you're a nurse, so like people were expiring left and right. Like you could look at somebody and tell that they're gonna expire, and then we'll like walk out of work, and even when sometimes we'll come into work and people are clapping and cheering, and the people like in the grocery store are like, "Thank you for your service," and I'm like, what? I'm just trying to pay my bills, y'all. Like, I didn't know. Like, it was like, thank you for your service. Like I'm some military or something. And I'm just like,
COVID got real,
it's
bro.
that.
And
I mean, it was that big of a deal.
Yeah,
And
it was
very
absolutely
dark and depressing.
And it's still some cases out there.
Yeah.
It might not be as well versed as it
Crazy,
was
yeah.
before or a while, but because I mean I know you have nurses in your family too, right?
But to work in a non-hospital setting and how
Mm-hmm.
crazy it got for us, I can only imagine how crazy it got for y'all.
It was so crazy.
And like even in the home setting, it was bananas. Like
Yeah.
shit was just going wild.
You literally couldn't go anywhere. Like so when this all was going on, how was it for you? Because I know for us it was like we just couldn't go nowhere. I was bitching about not being able to leave the house, and then eventually I was like, you know what? It's actually pretty cool that I ain't got to go nowhere.
Yeah.
But that shit was crazy. People start going to the park more.
Yo, for real. Yo, did I tell you about the first like week when it started?
They start opening it back up?
Bro, no, I'm talking about when the close down first started. Yo, so I was working in New York. I'm still working at the job now, and I went to I take the train out to the Garden to Penn Station over there. Yo, I got off that train. This is Midtown Manhattan, New York City.
Ghost Town.
Yo, nobody was
That's in
outside,
business. That
yo.
shit was
Nobody was
deserted.
outside. I'm talking
I
people
am-
that
I-
you normally just see walking.
Yeah.
Nobody.
You see
I am
not-
legend style, bro.
nobody
It was-
there.
That was wild. Like
I'd
people,
have
it was
been
like
freaked
3
out.
people on the train,
Hold
bro.
on, now I think about it. There was a report that one of the zoo animals got loose and they were running around. And no one got hurt because nobody was
Yeah, I
out
was about to
there.
say because nobody's gonna be there for it. But nah, it was
Listen.
wild, bro.
I remember that shit like it was yesterday and just how everything unfolded. And my biggest fear was that we were all going to lose our jobs. Like we knew the nurses were going to be good because obviously the hospitals was going to start hiring people.
Yeah.
But us on the operations side of home healthcare, we all thought that we were done for.
Did y'all work from home?
For the most part, yeah. But since obviously, people still need to be taken care in their houses.
Yeah.
Somebody had to be in the office.
That must have been tough.
Oh, it was aggravating.
Being in people's house as a nurse.
We had to stamp these decals that said, what do they call those people? The workers that
essential workers.
First
essential
responders.
workers. Essential workers.
Oh yeah, that part.
So we had to stamp these big ass decals on our cars that said essential workers because
So they
at
can
that
drive.
point the cops were pulling
That's
people over.
right. We wasn't even supposed to be driving. That joint was crazy.
I was in front of my old house in New Brunswick running. Mm-hmm. Remember, it was an 8:00 curfew that first week.
Oh yeah.
It was 7:55. New Brunswick police like, you real close? I'm like, yeah, I'm right around the corner. They're like, all right, get in the house.
Mm-hmm.
See, when COVID first started going crazy, I was living out in Elizabeth. Let me just tell you right now, that 8:00 curfew, it was like 8:15, 8:20, maybe even 9:00.
I remember that shit. Motherfuckers in Elizabeth, close to Essex County, they did not give a fuck.
Bruh, I'm talking like real close to UCC in Elizabeth. I used to live over in that area.
Yeah, because in Elizabeth by like Trinitas, it was, people were inside. Like the police are around.
Yeah.
I know for COVID, for me, a lot of things, like I was dating someone at the time and he did not want to come near me. He was like, I'm sorry, I love you, but I could potentially die. And I'm like,
well, damn.
Well, what the hell am I doing? I was like, what? He's like, no, just let it calm down a while and then we'll see. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But yeah, it was, even for like doctors, nurses, everybody, it was just, nobody would hug each other. We couldn't touch each other. We couldn't really eat together. We were just, it was so depressing. A lot of doctors, a lot of providers, they were on meds. A lot of people were like, a lot of, the husband, like the wives, they wouldn't want the husbands to come home, or a lot of the family members they didn't want. So the doctors, the nurses, they would sleep in hotels. And at the time, I don't know if you remember, they were giving nurses, healthcare workers discounts and stuff like that everywhere. And let me tell you, I was getting them discounts. I think I was like so stressed out and like trying not to have a mental breakdown from it. And I think I just drove the VA. And I called the hotel. I was like, hey, are you guys giving nurse discounts? And they were like, yeah. And I think nice place downtown.
Yeah.
And I think I paid like $60 a night. And just to have like my sanity, and it was like a nice ride. I mean, it was stressful then.
Yeah.
Thank God those times are over.
Listen, I know about them discounts because even though I'm not a nurse, I was an essential worker. So them essential worker discounts was fire.
They were.
Yeah.
And flights were cheap.
I mean, for y'all, I don't know that lifestyle.
Bro, there was one flight we took. I think about the flight to Vegas wasn't expensive because.
No, I thought that was just because everything like had just when we went, that was when things were just starting to open.
But they were still
kind of like on the outs.
Yeah, that's what social distancing.
Because we went to that one club where they had a VIP. It was the weirdest VIP I've ever seen. Honestly, I ain't never been so depressed going to a party. But it was for his birthday, so I'm mustering up this energy.
Remember how they used to put up the plastic everywhere, and it was like a divider, but it didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
because like COVID is just not going to go around it.
It was legit. Like the VIP would be like, so that half of the couch and this half is one VIP. They would just put a weak ass divider in between the couch, and that couch. That's another VIP.
But the crazy part is there's a divider there, but it's about this high.
Yeah.
So if I stand up and just talk over it, oh, hi, COVID's definitely getting
COVID
here.
gonna look at that and be like, hold on, I can just go over. All right, give me a second, y'all. Like, that's crazy.
Let me map around this shit.
Y'all see how like the Ubers and the taxis, they would have like this plastic film, and then some people went as far as to have like a tunnel from the air that goes in the back, and I was like,
you know what's going through there?
That was a lot,
but it's all mental. At that point,
that was the point where people were still going and stocking up on toilet paper for some odd reason.
I never understood.
I was about to ask you, like, did you know some knowledge that maybe us common folk don't know?
Because it didn't give you the runs.
Nah, the reason behind it, and I can answer that because my mother made a lot of money selling tissue. Shout out, Mom. Hey, Mom.
Well, making the money and buying it is two different things.
The reason,
your mother was just hustling, but your mother's always been a hustler, bro. Like she gonna get hers, bro.
And some of the people who's buying this shit off of, we talk. I talk to people. A lot of it was they thought they were gonna get stricter with the shutdown rules, because people seem to forget. For the most part, everyone played along and followed the rules. 8:00 curfew, get in the house, don't be out like that. But there was a good portion of this country that was just like, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to be outside.
Bro.
Oh, I know that portion.
And so people thought that they were going to just get stricter with it if it didn't stop. So they, in their mind, they're like, yo, let me stock up on all the essential shit that I usually use every day now. So if that happens, I won't be out of it.
I mean, I guess, but like, why was there so much water left over? Like, there was hella water. Like,
Nobody's thirsty.
Like, so everybody worry about wiping their ass, but ain't nobody worry about staying hydrated. Because let me tell you, you're not even hydrated. You can't wipe your ass because you're gonna be constipated. So you even need the water to get the process of the toilet paper.
Do you know the country you live in? This country been beefing with water for decades.
Like, it don't make sense.
They don't give a fuck about water in America. Everything is alcohol and juice. If it ain't got sugar in it, drink it.
Was mandated to be open.
Seriously.
But let me tell you something. Now, I ain't gonna be one of those people that sit up here and fake the funk, because I was definitely one of those people that was out the liquor store. Because what else was I doing? I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't believe in just sitting around drinking.
The restaurant started selling bottles of liquor.
2K and wine.
Chili's and Applebee's were selling big ass bottles of liquor
when there's nothing to do.
Dead ass.
Like bottle service? You was getting bottle service?
No, like you know how right now they do the to go. Like if you go to like Chili's.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
You can take alcohol
What'd you say?
to go?
What happened?
No, now you can because of COVID.
Nah, not every. I know you still like take liquor to go.
No, but they
not every place
they don't give
does
it to you in a cup. Like what I'm saying is,
they give it closed.
Chili's was selling $10 bottles of wine.
They still do that now?
Yes.
Oh, I ain't know that.
Because they was making so much money off of that.
But
shit.
honestly,
okay.
anybody who live in the Jersey area or the northern Jersey, I would go with Central too. Ringside started it. Let's just be real. Ringside was the one who was like, yo, fuck all those mandates.
I never went
Put
there.
this in a brown bag and just go on about your business.
We went to Ringside one night during the middle of that shit.
Yo,
They was
Ringside
like,
is fire for the drinks.
They're like,
I'm
you
not
can't
gonna
stay
lie,
in
but-
here.
It's one of those like, listen, everybody who goes to Ringside knows one thing and one thing only.
Listen, like,
Nah,
You ain't about to go there and party. You
get
ain't
in,
about to go there and have the best of
you get
who
in,
was jamming. You go in there,
and you
get
get
your
out.
drink, and you get out.
You
That's
get
a
in,
pregame spot, bro.
you get out.
go in there, you get your little
And
24
the beauty
ounce
of it is they also
Chinese
serve
food container iced tea
Yep.
joint with the
Yeah.
liquor. Bro, my man's be heavy-handed with it, yo.
And that's-
then you leave out.
And if you hungry, you make
Then
sure
you
you
leave
ain't.
out.
Make sure you got some food in your stomach.
That's all I know.
That's
That's it.
You make sure you got some food in your stomach. They got all that. So ringside, you don't. If you sitting in ringside for more than an hour, you got issues.
Nah, I did it before. Then I looked around. I was like, yo, why is it so like meh in here? I'm like, oh, that's because they got a fucking jukebox. They don't got no DJ in there. It was still with 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Like, people was in it. Like, I'm talking like, oh, Mavi jeans still be walking in the ringside is how, like, dated they are. But them drinks.
Dante's in ringside yesterday.
Actually, it was last week. Okay, so get it straight.
Shout out to ringside. We ain't gonna go for
No. We don't talk bad on ringside. I said what the plan is. The people who work at ringside know what the plan is, okay? They know.
Ringside is a dope spot if you want to get fucked up and watch like sporting events though. So like on Sundays and boxing matches.
Yo,
Ringside
boxing matches over there is actually pretty lit, but you got to get there stupid early
because them seats get taken up real quick and you just
don't
be
nobody
standing.
get up. Don't nobody get up.
The place is about another half of this room. So imagine like 500, 600 people just like this.
Nah, it wasn't worth it.
No parking.
Halfway.
None. Yo, they legit got like 8
Isn't
spots.
it a small, right?
They got,
I
like-
remember
And it's on
it
a
being
dead-end
very
street.
small.
No
So it's
lies,
like-
like not even trying to be funny. I think at most it's probably like 15 spots. That's about it. And,
Yeah.
and that's me being generous.
You gotta park up the hill. There's a hill like on the opposite side of the highway, and you gotta walk down.
But yo, there's a restaurant. You know what? I don't care. There's a restaurant that's right across the street from Ringside. It's like white diner or something like that.
White Rhino or some shit.
Our
like that.
boy went there and he got burgers from there. Straight food poisoning.
Yeah.
I don't recommend nobody go there though. But hey, everybody's stomach built a little different. But because I was looking at him too. I'm looking at the grill. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if he was like, yo, bro, I'm about to get a burger. I'm looking at this grill like,
It was at this moment that
like,
fucked up.
I don't think I want these burgers. He's like, nah, I'm about to get one. Next day, he hit me up like, yeah, yo. So my stomach was rumbling.
Unless you always had that hat on
Yeah, I just had it.
outside.
Yeah.
That's his hair.
As soon as because as soon as he
Wow.
Oh my
He
goodness.
can turn his hair this way. He can turn it that way. He can turn it this way.
Steve, put this camera on me. Hold up.
Take it off.
I met her outside before we walked in here. I've had this hat on for like 2
I
hours.
did not notice that.
Wow.
When you took it
Damn.
off, as soon as you took it off, I'm like,
That was a ponytail?
Don't you lecture me with
That's
your
the Goro
$30
ponytail from Mortal
haircut.
Kombat, sir.
What was you thought was on my
I
head?
forgot.
I got a camouflage dyed haircut. That's crazy.
I didn't even notice the hat. That's crazy.
Now, Naj, I got a question.
Oh,
That's
yes.
it's not a wild one. It's not a wild one, but I do want to know personally because I'm nosy. because I'm not someone who's in the medicinal field, so I've watched shows.
Nice word.
Yeah, I try to be educated on this program.
Man,
Outside of here,
he
though,
just like weed.
First of all, sir, I don't know what you're talking about or referencing.
Weed.
Broccoli is a very healthy vegetable.
Boy, we in New Jersey. That shit legal.
Broccoli,
You like weed.
string beans, those are very nutritious. They say the greener the vegetable, the better it is. So I don't know what else you're talking about, sir.
Broccoli's man-made.
Hey, it tastes delicious. It tastes delicious, sir.
We
I don't know
were
what else.
gangs.
I don't know what else you could be referencing. Anyway, back to my question. I watch a lot of like Grey's Anatomies and like 911s, and me
And
personally,
ER.
I want to know, like, is that Hollywood? Or does it really happen? Because you on the ground level in the ER.
Like, do your hospital get bomb threats all the time?
You know what I'm saying? Like, do these things, is this Hollywood like making it seem like it really goes down like that? Or is this stuff like y'all really experience?
Do y'all have that one annoying ass nurse who's like, yo, just
Yes,
suck his penis and get over it?
Whose penis? What? I mean, you had me at like annoying nurse, but I'm like,
yo, wait.
someone.
Normally it all makes sense, but wait, where's he going with this one? I don't know where this one's
What's her
going.
name? Not Dr. Gray. What's her name? Is
Doctor
she Dr.
Strange. The way you talking right now is real strange, bro. Yes.
Listen, the whole synopsis of Grey's Anatomy is her chasing this dude for like 8 seasons.
Nah, but she gets him though.
And then loses him.
No, but the way she loses him, you gotta watch the show. I'm not gonna root.
Bro, there's
Honestly,
like 3 spinoffs and the show's still on, dog.
yo, the craziest part about it is I said the same shit till I watched it. That's a good ass show.
I used to watch Grey's Anatomy when I was
Grey's
trying to fall
Anatomy is a
asleep.
good show, bro. It's a good show.
How the show been syndicated for longer than his
asleep.
Ask him what his favorite sitcom is before he started judging the shows I watch.
Kick Rocks. It's not anymore, okay? You turned it against
Friends
me.
again?
It is Friends.
I watch y'all, so I know you hate.
It's
that
not
he
Friends
watches
anymore.
Friends.
It's not Friends anymore.
You know I can't watch it anymore
Yeah, I
since that
know.
episode. You ruined it.
Because I've been right all along.
You ruined it.
You know what it is? The more you know.
And then
you
Jennifer
sat
Aniston
down
did
and
that
you watched
bullshit.
it.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, that was
She just
crazy.
double ruined it.
And then you really was looking at me like, oh, he's been right this whole time. I know. But yes, like I was asking, like, is that something that really happens, or that's
Some
just
things
Hollywood?
happen, really. Like, I worked at a level 1 trauma hospital, and it was in an undeserved community
What does that
in
mean?
New York.
What does that mean? Level 1 trauma.
Oh, gunshot wounds
Ooh.
and like gang stuff.
So level 1 is like
Yeah, that's like
hardcore shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like people come in like.
And it's not just gang stuff. It's just like,
It
yo,
could be, like,
you could
some
literally just be
crazy
walking down the
trauma.
street, somebody shoot you or stab up.
Yeah,
or it's
but
like,
usually it was gang stuff.
okay,
It
normally,
was in the
okay.
Bronx.
Oh, well.
I thought you
Yeah.
about to say university.
I refuse. I don't know nothing
Damn,
bad to say about
son.
university. Actually,
Yo, before you finish. So we
I
used
love
to
everybody.
being from Newark. We used to have a nickname for university because it was UDMNJ.
No, I know what it is. It's
You must-
UMDNJ.
You must
'Cause
die in
you
New
must
Jersey.
die in New Jersey.
You must
Yeah.
die in New Jersey.
Yo, I'll
Yo,
never forget.
Everybody's like, yo, he got shot. Where they take him? Bethany's? Nah, they took him to university. Oh,
Damn.
That's terrible.
we gotta get the t-shirts ready.
UMDNJ is honestly, hands down, one of the worst hospitals.
Yo.
And maybe it got better.
Hopefully.
But I knew a bunch of people that went there for different ailments. They got misdiagnosed. They got like no care was taken for them.
Jesus,
They
cover
stayed
the
there
patients,
longer than they were
Lord.
That's
supposed
because
to.
it was like students running the
yo,
asylum. That's why.
son.
How do you know that?
Yeah, how do I know that? I'm from Newark, first of all. Second of all, we're not gonna front. I used to go get all my dental work done there because that shit was free at a point, and then they wanted to change it up. Used to be able to go to get a root canal. They warn you. You had to sign a waiver. You had to sign a waiver. Just know that the dentist is working on you as a student. So
Hey, yo, you better hurry up. We're gonna meet up at the quad in a second.
I'm sitting there like, man, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get some new teeth.
So you was like the dudes who be going over to the barber schools and getting a haircut from the students, like you just here for the experience.
That's why I'm boss. Nah, I be son.
Because I'm like, everything he's saying is true, but I'm like, how do you know that?
Oh, that was an insider secret. Look at you. You do know some insider trader
It don't matter. They
secrets.
don't do that shit no more.
Because
Well,
you know
no more,
nurses
yeah.
talk, so
Yeah.
I,
I
mean,
know. Like,
So the last time I went, this was years ago. I don't need to do that shit now. But the last time I went, what made me stop going was that I had another, because I grind my teeth in my sleep, so it creates a lot of
do you wear
cavities.
guards?
Yeah,
Smile.
now I do.
Yeah,
But
that's because you
back in-
angry all the time. You be in your sleep like, motherfucker. Smile, son.
So, but back in the day,
Just smile, son.
it's like, fuck you all, you know. But back in the day, I didn't know any better to wear one. So, because I used to think like, yo, I brush my teeth, I floss, I don't eat a lot of candy and bullshit. So I'm like, where are these cavities coming from? And then
clips in them.
Yeah, and they were like
Clips.
Because he was
grinding.
grinding.
Oh, God.
Okay, got it. So let me just say, I was like so nervous. I was like, I saw y'all was playing games on one episode. I said, I don't know how to play Uno.
What?
I don't know how to play Spades.
Well, you know what?
I was like,
I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do
You
that.
can pass on space.
I ain't gonna do
I was
that.
like, they don't play no games.
I ain't gonna do that.
I don't
my
play games.
Listen, we told you what this was gonna be.
And what did I say? And then you guys did something else. Oh, one day you were talking about one episode. Y'all were talking about TV shows on Netflix. And I was like, I don't even be watching TV. I was like, Lord, what am I going to talk about to these people?
You thought we was about to just be sitting here like.
So this is your world. We're living in it. So you lead us and tell us.
I was like, what are we going to talk about? I was like, oh my gosh.
Listen, you're on a podcast ran by two motherfuckers who like to talk.
Yeah.
We was going to find some
One
shit
way
to
or
talk
another,
about.
it was gonna get carried. I'll tell you that right
We
now.
was going to get to that hour.
We gonna start and we gonna finish one way or another. It's
There'll
gonna
be some
happen.
episodes Dante's in the cut like,
I'm like, yo.
Yeah, where's the
Wrap this
timer?
shit
How
up.
you know when
See,
it's over?
the thing about it is, we give subtle hints that.
look at you though.
Nah, stop giving away all the shit.
They not gonna see it. All I gotta tell
I
them
wanna
is look
see
at
what
it.
Nah, you gotta make it look
Look.
cooler.
Look at what?
See?
Oh, she's still sick. Go
I'm
ahead.
going to mess up your
Nah,
time.
you-
Oh.
Yeah, you see
I
it.
see.
You
I
see it. You
okay,
see it.
brother. I see you.
That's why. See, that's our family back there. See.
Shout out to Steve.
Shout out Steve, Bravery Studios. But nah, real talk. How
Oh, you were asking me about crazy things I
yeah,
saw.
like
So,
are
like-
those things that really happen? Like these wild things and all of that.
So
Go
one
ahead.
time I had a patient. I was in the trauma area, and the ED is huge, right? So you have like a fast track where it's like people come with scrapes and little stuff that they could really go to urgent care, but they come there. Then you have like zones where it's like, you're kind of like sick, but you're not like dying. You probably need a blood transfusion or something like that. So you're like still okay. But then they have like the trauma where it's like, oh my gosh, the person's bone is like hanging out of their leg. And that happens a lot because up in the tri-state area, people are on those motor scooters. So like literally a patient came in and he, once your bone breaks, you can't feel. So his whole bone was just out. And then he had like because he kind of scraped too, so the whole flesh was like peeled back as well, and it was just a lot going on with him. And then one time, this lady, she was so sweet abuela, and she comes and she got shot, but she didn't know she was shot. She thinks that she got hit with particles. So what happened was actually it was in the summertime, and a bus was driving by, and she was on the bus, and it was 6 people got hit. Apparently people were shooting and the bus got like hit in the midst of it. So some people, but people get shot. Sometimes you think it's gonna be like, oh my gosh, but they don't even know. Like they have
They don't even
fragments inside of
realize.
them, and they're just like,
Is that like a
little
shock thing?
pain. Maybe I don't know.
I didn't mean to laugh.
Were you laughing?
Yo, I was
At
trying to
little
keep a straight
abuela?
face while you
I
was
saw
talking,
you.
but it was him.
But I heard
I really don't know why he's like.
Because she got shot.
When you
What?
said Abuela, my mind immediately went to Selena. So I'm like, did somebody try to kill her? Somebody try to shoot the lady? Like you look like
Listen,
her.
my Spanish is top tier.
Like you look like her. Bow.
That's terrible. But yeah, man.
you the worst,
people,
bruh.
People get hit accidentally, and then the hospital has to shut down. Not really bomb threats, though. I don't really hear
That
anything
one is
about-
wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I
okay.
guess back in the days there was something. I mean, maybe it could still happen. Who knows?
That's just on TV, Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, yo, Grey's Anatomy got a bomb threat called at least once a season.
Scholars are mad at all y'all for keeping that show in the air. Is the new season still coming out?
Yeah, they still got new
cannot keep
episodes
up.
coming
I
out.
never
Bro, that show has been
Meredith-
syndicated for half my life.
Meredith about
And it's still on.
85. She looked like Betty White at this point.
And she's still out here.
She's still out here.
She out here tricking.
She's still out here. They got people who are like the grandchildren of the people who was on like season 1.
She started off as a nurse and she's a doctor now, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But she did stuff
a
like
long
she was
road.
trying to cure Alzheimer's and things like that.
Did she?
From where I left off, nah.
Did she?
Nah, I don't think she did. I don't think she
Her
did.
memory's a little gray, right? But anyway,
I'll be laughing before I know what he gonna say.
You
cut
knew
it
he
out.
was gonna say
I
that.
figured he was gonna say that. That's
That
just
was
what
better
he
than that
does.
damn clit stroke.
Nah, first of all, that joint was fire.
Was it?
Yeah.
Grinding?
It was grinding?
Yeah, because I was so lost. I was. Like,
Nah, it's okay.
but I got it eventually.
Yeah,
Once you explained
that's
it.
all that matters.
Unfortunately,
Listen, so
not that hip. I spent all my life in school.
it happens, man.
So you've
not too late.
done, because you haven't done ER stuff.
No.
But you've been a nurse.
No. I've worked with nurses.
Oh, you
been
work
a
with
nurse.
nurses. Nah,
Yeah.
yo.
I'm about to say, what is
He's been in the health field
What?
for the past, 10 years?
I've been in the healthcare field for the last 11 years.
So he been doing a lot
He
these
does a
past
lot.
11 years.
It started
So-
off of being around CNAs.
Right. Were you ever in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, you
I
was.
remember
I was at an
those
assisted living home.
times.
Yeah.
Look at me. I remember.
Not getting paid
Those
shit. Well, and then they promoted me to kitchen manager, but then they tried to force all the people to become CNAs, and I'm like, I'm not doing that because being that I'm big, they were gonna give me all the male patients and have me carry these because when we would have like hurricanes and shit, if you were stuck,
Hurricanes.
like Jersey
Oh,
having a
Sandy?
hurricane like Sandy.
That was a long time, too.
We would have to carry all of the fucking big patients up to their rooms because the elevators are shut off. And I don't mean like, you know how older people get. They live their life. They don't give a fuck. This one dude named.
So why should I?
I'm not. You know what? See, that was a horrible
Followed up with the
No. She said, "Why should I?" You play the gunshot. Hey, yo, what we doing?
Savage.
Yo, that's the funniest shit.
When I tell you I love being here, bro.
That shit just took me out like it was a real gunshot. Hey, yo.
My
What I was
bad.
saying was, so they made us. I had to carry this 350-pound man that was like 90 years old upstairs, just the back of his wheelchair, and it would keep breaking. So then eventually I had to get in front and just lift that shit up. I'm like, yo. Everybody like, you good? Once I got to, and he's on the 4th floor. So once I got up there, my man, fuck y'all.
Yo, it must be a medical field thing, because I swear when y'all be telling these stories about, oh my God, I'll be on that edge of my seat. But y'all both start laughing once somebody bring up something.
Because it's funny after you
Our
did it.
humor is sick.
Yo,
No,
and I-
mine is too, but
Like-
both of y'all did it. So it's one of those for me. It's like if a teacher brings up like a student. I like to believe like teachers, for example, when they see like a student get beat up one that they don't like, they probably be sitting there like, yeah, I ain't want to break it up because like,
he
you
deserves
know.
They get their
But
late.
then they be like, yo, stop.
I'm
Because
trying
it
to
start
remember-
getting too rowdy. Relax, stop.
I'm trying to remember what movie that was when the teacher was about to break up the fight, but he saw the little boy about to get hit. The little boy looks at him, and then the teacher like fake roll, and then it just knocks him out. He's like, yeah, he deserved that shit. I'm trying to think what movie that was.
That sound like Abbott Elementary. That's what it sound like, but I don't think it was
It's a
that.
That's a
movie.
good show.
It's the
All right,
two
while you
white
think about
kids.
that, I got another question for Naj.
Yeah.
So your book, right?
Ooh, yes.
Let's get into it because I do want people to view this, especially people who might not know a lot about like what it takes to do what you do on a daily basis. What's the biggest quote or knowledge you'd like to drop from your book that you feel you could just share with the people just on a whim? That might be a loaded
So-
question, I know,
No.
but you might have your bookmarks already set. So
No, I don't. I just grabbed this. This was by my podcast table. I said, let me just grab this. So the book is, it is. Oh, here.
yeah,
My bad.
that one.
Cut that out.
Nah, we were on Uncut here. They gonna see all of it.
So the book, it's meant to be very encouraging. I have more than 900 medical illustrations. I have more than 900 medical abbreviations. Then I have medical illustrations. Then I have like some do's and don'ts of charting, some nursing tips. I share nurse stories in here, and then I also give nurse templates and nurse note examples because it's something that a lot of nurses struggle with. Just like, protecting your license is all about charting. Of course, you do your care for your patient, but if something happens, a lot of people don't write notes or their notes are like subpar.
Nurses don't play with their license, D.
Hey, I ain't mad
And
at
that's why
them.
this book is selling.
They hit you with a bat. Nurses don't play with their license.
Yeah.
I believe it.
So
I believe it.
Before each chapter, I put like a little quote.
Forgive yourself. Can I read it?
Oh yeah,
Read it out loud, bro. Show the scholars you educated
I
too.
gotta put my glasses on.
Oh my God.
And I quote. Stop laughing.
Sorry, go ahead.
And I quote. Forgive yourself. You are not perfect.
That's right.
Show yourself grace. You are still learning. Show yourself patience. You are on a journey. End quote. Unknown.
Yeah. So then.
That's beautiful.
Great. So then it leads into the next chapter, which is like the basics. So like every quote prepares you for like the next chapter of the book, and it kind of like encourages you as you go.
So I'm gonna ask you this, because I want to insult you as a nurse. Do you feel like that would be an easier read for people who aren't nurses as well?
I feel like I've had a lot of physician assistants, doctors, addiction specialists, social workers, dietitians. Honestly, anybody. I made it specific to nursing because I am a nurse and like it's an easier niche to kind of get into. But honestly, anybody in healthcare, this book is beneficial to because it really shows you like those people in the hospital, they still have to chart and document the stuff that they did as well.
So do you think that your book could eventually come like the guide for beginners?
So actually, a lot of like, there's been some talk about getting me onto like syllabus in schools. Yeah,
That's
and
that's
Big things are going. Big things are going. I love how she just humbly said it like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just a couple syllabus. You know, nothing big. You know what I'm saying?
You about to be learning about my shit.
That
bruh.
shit, you know, nothing crazy.
because you know what's crazy? There's no book like this out there.
I've never seen one.
Because I
like
was
it.
also going to ask, is that a book that people such as myself who aren't in the medical field, but like, for example, I have an elderly grandmother. If I have to take her to the hospital, they may, granted, I'm not being talked to with certain lingo, but if I hear it, is that something like a book I could pick up stuff to help me if I'm in that setting?
So it would be beneficial. The purpose is like a guide, right? It kind of like helps you explain. So it's good for terminology if you're looking for like certain terminology or descriptive behaviors, such as a person that would go to the hospital and be wearing green scrubs.
Ooh.
But
And
but it also
I wonder
has
who she's talking about.
But it also has like nurse note templates and examples that a lot of people can follow. A lot of nurses, they usually just copy other people's notes and they don't really change too much. So this gives you like a nice guide, and it's very small. It's a pocket guide. It has great pictures and a lot of things that people struggle with. I don't know.
I want to buy a copy. I honestly do, so I can show
I
some
have
of
a
my
lot of
nurses.
copies, so I'm gonna bring it.
Seriously.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, the book is very helpful to all people in healthcare, honestly.
Wonderful.
A lot of people have been very supportive of my book, and I've been selling crazy. I was I told you in the parking lot that I'm going to start doing book tours. So I'll be at hospitals, nursing homes, schools, universities.
Big time.
You know, just
Big time.
Black
amazing.
woman winning.
We nice.
Black woman winning.
Yes, sir. Listen.
Can we get a cheers to that, please? Can we get a cheers to that?
I mean,
I love this.
My
I
cup
love
empty.
this. I love this.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
That's why
I love
I'm
this.
sweat and I finish this cup real
I
fast.
love this success. This guy.
I see you.
You had to flap the hat. That's how you noticed the hat. That's what I'm saying. Had to air it out.
Question I have. You know, we got a little bit of time left. What made you want to create the book? Was it based on like the way that you experienced learning the material? Was it based on like people saying to you like, "Yo, Naj, like I can't understand these things. I wish there was like an easier version of it." Like, what prompted you to want to
People
create
were
the
asking
book?
you to do their shit for.
No, I'm a very nice, helpful person. So I'm very religious. I love the Lord. I love God.
Won't he do it?
And he will every time. Just listen because he speaks.
That's it.
And there was this sermon. I always watch sermon. At the time, I was watching online sermons. And the pastor always kept talking about a book, writing a book, different things. And I would have dreams about it and all this other stuff. And then during COVID, what happened, a lot of senior nurses actually left. So it was just young nurses teaching young nurses. And I've had about 2-3 years experience. And I would have like this binder. If a fall happened, a suicide patient came in, elopement, something happened, I would always show the nurse how to write it. And I'm like, this is like getting exhausting. So then I just started to write the book. It took me about 1.5 years. I was actually in nurse practitioner school while I wrote it. And then like I just took the summer and I just finished it. Had a few editors, went through about 5 book cover designers to like get it right and everything. And I released it in March, late March. So then summer came. So I haven't really been doing like heavy promo. But yeah, it just came from just wanting to help other nurses because charting is a weakness. It's not something that they teach you in nursing school. Okay. It's not a book that you can buy at Barnes & Noble or online on Amazon or anything like that. I actually was going to put it on Amazon, but Amazon takes 60%.
What?
Yeah. And on my website, I keep it all.
Hey, Bezos, bro, what you doing, dog?
Get that camera to focus right on here, Naj. Tell the people who are trying to like put books on Amazon, like a little insider trader secret to that.
So you should not, unless you don't want to make money. Amazon will give you the ISBN, but it is not yours. If you want to write a book, you could DM me, and I will explain to you how you can write a book. It's pretty easy. A lot of quick steps, but when you do publish on Amazon, because I know a lot of people talk about it, they don't tell you that they take 60%. The ISBN number is not yours, so if you wanted to sell in Barnes & Noble or another local bookstore or do a book tour there or book signing, Barnes & Noble and other bookstores do not really like books that are on Amazon just because they are taking away books from inside their store. So that's another thing. So yeah, go independent, man.
Yo, that's nuts too, because Amazon started off as a fucking bookstore.
I didn't even know that though. Like that's knowledge because a lot of, like you said, a lot of people do Amazon everything. Yeah. Amazon is everywhere.
And it's convenient. So like I get it. Everyone always asks me like, I have a proof that I was gonna put on Amazon, but I'm making too much money.
And so then how would you promote to the people? Like
she rich.
Yo, y'all hear her flexing and I love to hear it. I love it when we win.
As a
you know what I'm saying? I love it when we win. So
look through it.
I wanted to know for get that a little closer. Yeah, they trying like a boss. You trying like a boss.
Here he is.
But we do, because I've never been in the medical field, but I went to college, I studied some stuff.
Yeah.
And I had like a guide that shows me like breakdowns of those things. Not to say I didn't do well, but I could have done better. Yeah. Because college is like learn all these things, especially for the field that you're in. It's
especially when you're not even in your specialty yet.
You
gotta learn all this stuff before you get to your specialty.
So I think that is very beneficial.
The way my brain is working, and I'm not joking, I'm gonna talk to my higher ups about this after we leave, and I'm so serious. I feel like as we hire nurses, we can have them have a book like this. Do they write, like, chart or document anything? All the time. Like, after every shift, after our supervisors do their visits, their, what do they call it? Orientations, their initials, their observations of their patients. They have to chart, and a lot of them chart like shit. And it's really good, especially for like descriptive things, like when you're, and I'm getting medical, but if you're looking at urine color or vomit, or you trying to be descriptive and you can't really find the words, like I felt like that was something that I struggle with. So I feel like everything I struggle with, when I started as a new nurse, I put it in the book. So if you have trouble with descriptive words or not knowing all the medical abbreviation, I mean, more than 900 is a lot. And then illustrations. Some people don't grade edema. The swelling. They don't grade it properly. Some people don't know where the pulse points are exactly.
That's all in there.
I'm dead ass about to hit my corporate bosses
stages, up. Since it's home health aid, it has stages of wounds in there and how to describe wounds and how to, just serosanguine. It's just a bunch of great knowledge.
A lot of necessary knowledge is what it sounds like.
After we wrap it up, we're going to talk. I'm not joking.
No, for sure.
Because I'm going to present to them, and then it's going to make you coin.
Listen, I appreciate it.
Because we see, this is why, I told you before we started, this is why we do it.
Yeah.
People who get on here and they have other things going on, the people need to hear this.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? There's people who are in medical school right now that are probably like, damn, all these daggone things I got to remember. Yo. Yeah, I got you.
It is good.
I got you.
Nice little pocket guide.
Does it teach you how to deal with big, what would you say, green scrub patients?
Yes, it does. I have SI, elopement, all those great things. You had something to tell me.
About?
I don't know. You said I want to surprise you with it or something.
Oh, yeah. You had a question.
You had a question that you was trying to knock me off my feet.
Write them down.
No. See, I got to start writing shit down. The tequila got to me.
See, I'm going to let the people in on a little secret.
The even crazier part.
So when I sit here and I got my phone be right here. Do you know why? Because, yes, I'm going to remember most of the things I want to ask, but, like, I'm going to forget.
The even crazier part is...
It's because I eat a lot of broccoli, and because broccoli sometimes messes with my memory.
Broccoli is man-made! But the crazy part is, I think that was it. I'm going to present this to my company as if something that we should have on standby for our nurses and our home health aides as we hire them, and hopefully, they can formulate some type of contract with you.
Sure.
Use your book as a guide to help our nurses.
That'd be fire. It's like, yo,
because
this book
obviously
that
I don't have a copy. I didn't see it in person, but from listening to your podcast and how you promoting it when you first wrote it.
Do you listen to my podcast? You be watching the trailers.
No, I'm not going front. I'm not going front.
I'm gonna tell you, you and your little friends was saying to me, I ain't gonna put your friend out there. Whatever. Oh, I'd love to support your book, but I'm not a nurse. You work in healthcare. Who said that? You work in healthcare and you chart. You see patients.
First of all,
let's get
you can put 2 and 2 together because I don't even need to. She don't even need to finish it. I know what she talking about.
People want to say like, "Oh, I don't want to buy your book because I don't want your podcast because it's about nursing." First of all, my podcast is about a lot of things. Yeah. Okay, you can learn a lot in 15 minutes.
Let them know.
Feel me? Don't be putting people in no box.
Period.
But I'm not going front.
Full of knowledge over
I
here.
watched one episode.
Really?
The rest of it were the trailers and everything on your Instagram page.
How's my trailers?
I'm trying. I'm not lying. I try to take from some of the shit you do in editing some of our stuff because I'm like, yo, this shit is put together real nice. Real nice. It's real nice. So, in what I have seen, I knew that once, I seen it in person, because I flipped through it briefly when before we started. And what caught me was you said there's actual guys and some pictures in here that shows exactly what you're looking at. That I know people will rather see that because it's eye popping.
Yes,
it keeps you engaged more.
Yes,
like that's, if we're gonna be real, a lot of people don't read because it's just all words.
Right.
Yo, and not even trying to be funny.
And it's very like the layout is crazy.
Yeah,
like the layout is very nice.
This looks like something that if I would have saw this in school, I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
Think about it though.
Yeah.
Most of the time you don't want to read is because it's just words.
Yeah, and it's just like
yo, especially when they be doing that small ass font. Like I'm gonna read it, but it's like, this is a chore. Right. It sounds like, again, I want to get the book. I'm not in the medical field, and I want to learn some of these things just to know some of these things.
It's like right. You want to put it on this?
No, he don't want to. You know why? Because the people should buy it. If they want to know what page it's on,
I'm just showing them an example.
If they want to know what page it's on, they could buy it.
It actually shows you, like, when you're listening to lung sounds, what to expect to hear. So you'll hear Strider up here, and then you'll hear, like, it's really good.
Yo, when I tell you, not all heroes wear capes, because, bro, that's revolutionary. Like, I'm not even in the field, and I know for me, clap it up. Listen, I'm telling y'all, you know what's crazy? We gonna archive this episode so when she make it big, and she get on Oprah, she gonna be like, so I was on this little podcast one time, and I was talking
with these 2 black men.
You know what?
They came a long way, child.
It was educated something. I can't remember. Brothers, educated brothers. We gonna be yelling at the TV screen, brothers.
Before we get out of here, I do want to take it back on a serious note because we were joking about it, the whole green scrub thing.
Oh.
I briefly spoke on it before, I think on one of our episodes, but this was at the beginning.
Oh yeah, this is
beginning stage.
This is when we was shooting in the basement, basically.
Listen, take your mental health. I'm right here. Take your mental health seriously. If you feel like something is deeper than what you're letting on to the people around you, don't hide it. Don't feel like it's just going to, magically just disappear one day. Own it. Accept it for what it is and try to get as much help as you can about it. Just being real, I wasn't. I was dealing with a lot of crazy shit at the time, and then I allowed the situation to push me over the edge. Luckily, I have good people in my life who were able to center me and keep me grounded. Gang. So what could have been a really bad situation ended up being a really life-changing moment for me because what happened was I going to go through what I was writing in those messages? Half of me felt that way. Yeah. But I knew that deep down I couldn't all the way go through with it. Yeah. And the crazy part about it is it put me in a situation, and what we're talking about suicide. So the crazy part about all of it is it put me in a situation where I felt like a coward. And I know this might sound wild. it made me respect people who actually go through and follow through with that shit a little bit more.
Why did you feel like a coward?
Because I didn't go through with it. You feel me? Like, and just seeing that people actually get pushed so far that they feel like that's all they can do.
Yeah.
And they actually act on it.
Yes.
For me to feel that way and A, not go all the way with it. B, I was actively looking for outs. I was hitting people up. I was bothering Dante that night, just trying to get him, without telling him what was happening, just trying to get him to say some shit to talk me off a ledge. I was actively looking for ways to just not do it. So it made me, in a sense of everything else that was going on, just feel like a big ass coward.
No.
And then I got put. This is the funny part about it. So we can laugh about this shit now. So
I'm over here about to cry.
no, but
You
So
know
here's the
why?
punchline.
Because I know, like, you are so, I don't want to say you're so emotional, but you've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And you just always try to see the good in a bad situation.
And that's the issue,
And it
though.
takes over you.
And it takes a lot out of you.
And you just, and people are telling, like, and it's so easy for someone to be on the outside and be like, bro, just cut that off, just let that go. But you're like, but you're in it, so it's different. So, like, I feel you. I feel you.
It's very eye-opening because all that I went through made me realize that, I'm just being real, I'm not as good as the person that I thought I was.
At the time?
In general.
Now?
Not now.
I think you're a good person. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm just gonna be
At
real.
the time.
At the time,
Yeah.
especially even coming out of it, I wasn't as good as the person I thought I was. I held on to that.
Yeah.
The world saw me as this warm, loving guy.
Right.
So, but I never felt that way. And there's some people, and I said to Dante all the time, there's some people in this world that look you in your face like, yo, LaShawn's an asshole. And they'll be right in saying that. So, I had to own a lot of that shit and going through with it. And what I was about to laugh about was that when I got put in the hospital for that situation, because, obviously they don't tell you what you're in there for. And then I'm at a hospital where I know some of the people that work in there, so they're looking at me like, oh, you got those green scrubs on. And I'm like, I don't know. What the fuck?
These were they told me to wear. What you mean?
They put it on me.
They put me in green.
Took all your stuff.
They took all my shit.
Locked it up.
They put me in these scrubs. The hospital and the ER room ended up being full, so there was no rooms available. So I slept in the hallway. I slept in the hallway for about 3 days. They had no rooms upstairs to admit me in, so then I had to sleep in the ER's room for about another 4 days. And for them to tell me once they released me, like, yeah, all this was a part of your stress test. We wanted to make sure that you were actually good, so before we release you. And the doctor said exactly what you said. Like, you're a big dude, so we got to make sure that you're good, too.
I was like, you're a big guy. I'm sure they were, like, very scared.
Yo, I would watch the people they would have watch me at night.
Because
Like,
mental health is unpredictable.
yeah. I would watch the ladies, and these women, small as hell, walking in there just... I'm like, we're good. Like, I'm talking to them because I can see it now. Once I started to understand why I was there, now I have to talk to them like, yo, it's not going to be what you think it is. I'm not about to be here a while.
Like, I swear I'm chilling.
I'm
chilling.
I told them, they was like,
It's a
yo,
moment
you
of
good?
weakness.
I'm like, you good? I'm like, yeah, man, they giving me these apple pies every day. I get hamburgers at night. I'm watching fucking Sports Center all day. I'm like, I'm chill.
Glitter shoot all in your mouth.
And my boss at the time was really cool because he understood what I was going through, so he didn't have... I was getting paid as if I was actually working. So that,
that was good. That was a blessing.
Man. And coming out of that, yes, there was some the months after that got really bad. And that's why I say it was a lot of eye-opening shit that had to make me realize I'm not as good as a person as I thought I was. But I felt like I needed to go through it. Because that helped me and prepared me for everything I'm going through now.
I'm happy you came out of it.
Yeah, man,
it would have been, I don't even want to think. Tragic.
Yeah. And like I said, I could talk about that ad nauseum, but the real thing that really, really stopped me is that I'm like, damn, I can't do that to my mom.
Yes. A lot of people think the same thing.
Yeah.
They think about their family. Even if they feel hopeless and they feel like it's at the end of their ropes and they're ready to just be done, they're exhausted, they could never do that to someone that they love.
Yeah,
and that's what keeps them holding on. But people need to find other reasons to live.
And true. And that's why most of the reasons I have now are for me. But at the same time, Dante's aware of it. I don't keep people around me that don't bring me positive energy.
Yeah.
There's so many people I was cool with at that time that I don't even...
Good.
Hey, what's up? Nah, we good.
That joint is draining, bro.
It's draining like a
There's
motherfucker.
certain people you can't have around you
can't.
because that energy shit is real.
Seriously.
Like even if it's off by just a little bit, you know.
Dab it.
But look, before we get up out of here, we're gonna plug your book, plug your IG, your
Plug
socials,
everything.
everything. One more time.
Yeah, so where I'm looking at, Steve.
You gonna look this?
Yeah.
Right here.
This one right here.
No, this one.
Stage right.
Okay. Telling y'all I'll be off. I'm telling you. I can't line dance. I can't do nothing.
They said right. She looked this way. Like okay.
I'm like, right. Okay, so nurse.naj, nurse, NURSE, dot, period, and Naj, NAJ, chart like a boss, a documentation guide for nurses, written by a successful Black woman.
Gang gang.
So yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. No, thank you for coming on to the show. Because honestly, it was just gonna be us shooting the shit if you didn't. So that works. That works.
I was nervous. I was like, what are we gonna talk
If you
about?
got some nursing friends that don't want to work in hospitals no more, give my number. I'm hiring.
Yes.
And then also let Sean know that the auditions for 60 Days In is about to be next week. My boy got the orange jumpsuit ready to go. I've been waiting to say that all damn day. Yes. He got the fresh whites on his jumpsuit. Son.
You're going to jail now.
You know we gotta end on a lighter note, y'all. Y'all know how we do out here.
On that note, No Talent Beats. Play us out, baby.
We see y'all next time, scholars.
Peace out.
No Talent Beats.